Welcome back. This is going to be fun. In the grand tradition of such vaunted filmmakers as Spike Lee and many, many others, actually. I won't go into a long list. But let's just say that Justin Simien has nailed it. I can't wait to see the whole film. I've been reading about this film. I'm super excited about it. In an interesting way, I feel a real connection to it, and two of the wonderful, talented actors who are in the film Dear White People are joining me tonight. Tessa Thompson and Brandon Alter. Welcome. Hello. How are you?
We're good. Thank you for having us.
Oh, it's super fun. It's Sundance. I got a good night's sleep last night.
Congratulations.
So yeah.
That makes one of us.
Yeah, seriously.
It's like that's a hot commodity. Actually, I wish they had a gifting suite for like restfulness
like
around
nap
these
time.
parts. Yeah.
Like if we could just schedule a nap time,
that would be
fantastic.
Nice.
If you could just first program the app.
Yeah.
You know, well, first raise some money to hire the programmers.
Yes.
Author the app. Have it on both Android and iPhone platforms.
It'd be lovely. But you know, it's been fun. It's been so fun for us to be here and be busy, you know, talking about the movie.
Sure.
Yeah.
So for folks who may not be familiar with it, give us please a synopsis of Dear White People.
You start and I'll just chime in.
Okay, let's like trade off sentence
that
for
sounds
sentence.
Great.
Dear White People is a satire about race in America, partially.
Yeah, and it follows 4 black college kids at like a Harvard-style university, like a very predominantly white, Ivy League, wealthy university.
Yeah. But more than just a piece about race in America, it's also a piece because it is about young people, about identity versus self and finding your place, which I think is sort of a universal story that most everybody, you know, understands.
Yeah, I would say it's about identity outside of like the construct of gender or sexual orientation or race, and like just owning yourself outside of all those labels.
Sure, and also about the danger of culture and how it can pigeonhole us sometimes.
Totally.
Nicely put.
Yeah.
It occurs to me that I've had many different kinds of experiences in the course of my life in which race is almost something that can confuse reality because, and I understand that there's a character in your film that gets hired to write and cover the controversy for the university newspaper because he's black and he's not really cred or whatever that means.
Yeah.
And that's really the most important thing to say about race. It really is, even in a practical sense, that the color of your skin really is meaningless because it doesn't tell about what you care about or who you are.
Sure.
So can we work on not doing that so much?
I hope we can. I think, you know, you and I were talking about earlier about these racially themed parties that have been happening, and I heard you mentioning one that happened recently in honor of MLK, which is bizarre. But I think there's something to be said also about, like, we certainly, and I think our film talks about this, if you saw the trailer, the concept trailer, if you read any of the comments, you'll see that we just do not live in a post-racial society. But what I think we do live in is a time where we have looser ideas about what it means to be black, about what it means to be white or right or whatever.
That
so
too.
I think we're in a space where we have to sort of redefine what any of those things mean and realize that we have some flexibility, you know?
Yeah, and that's why I'm so proud to like be a part of this film, because it's really beyond everything else starting a conversation again, and a conversation I think is like very timely and specific to like this moment in time.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah.
And I think starting a conversation with wit and
a sense of
levity
fun.
and fun. I think, you know, obviously with movies like Fruitvale, and like we're in a time where we need to talk about these issues, but I think what's interesting
without
and
being
fun,
so guarded, and I think that's one of the things about your film and about Justin's take on it that's so great. And I meant to mention Robert Townsend, you know, someone who could be satirical, and of course Fruitvale is a great example of sometimes you must just take an unvarnished, very sincere and sober and sad and tragic look, but Dear White People leavens the bread a little bit and makes it something that I think humor
is our most powerful tool,
and allows us to get the conversation started.
If you keep people laughing, all of a sudden you can sneak things in that maybe they wouldn't otherwise be open to receiving. I think that's why comedy is so powerful, and that's why I think this movie actually is tremendously powerful because of how funny it is, you know. And you're laughing and all of a sudden you're like, oh, I can't believe, you know, this just snuck in.
Yeah.
And when you walk out of the theater, as I did last year after seeing Fruitvale, I didn't just want to not talk about race. I didn't want to talk. It was so powerful, and Ryan Coogler, amazing. But in this case, if you're in a light mood, you want to talk about it. And it's like your film gives us permission, and I have to say that, you know, right from the genius of the title of the film, and with respect to these parties happening at Arizona State yesterday, like, you know, I can with a chuckle say to everyone who's not white, on behalf of white people, dude, I'm so sorry about those white people. I don't know them, but I feel terrible being lumped in with them. I feel badly.
Sure, but I think the thing that the film also says is that we all have a responsibility. You know, that we're all what it challenges is the culture. You know, the culture of stereotypes.
Yes.
So it's not just I feel like there's a dangerous thing because of the title of the film that it becomes like a white bashing thing, and I don't think that's what the film says at all, you know.
And I think the film does a really good job that all of the characters, white and black, are really human and really flawed, and nobody's perfect in it, and nobody's really. And
that's part of the way that we get an understanding.
We get beyond, because nobody's perfect and everyone's going to make mistakes, but
we are nuanced.
Yeah,
we are nuanced.
Absolutely.
The characters aren't so much. You guys, I want to keep talking. I got to go to a commercial. I got to talk to some other filmmakers, and I'm so sorry about that. Tell folks where they can find out more about the film if they're not actually here at the Sundance Film Festival.
They can follow Dear White People on Twitter. They can find Dear White People on Facebook.
Instagram. We're all over social media. Just Google Dear White People. You will find us.
And if you join the union, you can get updates about the film and see what happens post-Sundance.
And maybe even win from some free stuff.
Oh yeah, actually, if you are at Sundance, I think if you tweet with us tonight, there are 2 tickets. Our next screening is at Eccles, which will be our biggest.
That's big. That's as big as it gets at Sundance.
Thursday at 3:30. We're excited.
Brandon, Tessa, thank you.
Thank you so much for having us.
For spending time. I had a wonderful time. We'll see you soon.